It brings us to 9:37. Kia owners driving a Sportage, Sorento, Cerato or Soul vehicles sold between 2009 and 2015 must now head to the dealerships for an ABS fuse replacement before taking any trips over the holidays. 18,600 vehicles sold across the country over that period are being recalled by Kia South Africa. Newzroom Afrika's business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo is at Kia's offices in Edenvale. Ntokozo, good morning. This is a recall, and I think we need to emphasize this, that should be taken seriously by drivers of these models.
Good morning, Michelle. Indeed, hearing those warnings from both Stellantis as well as Kia, 18,600 cars being recalled from Kia covering various models. And I suppose the reason consumers really need to heed that call at this time is that we are in holiday season. A lot of South African consumers or families going to take to the road, whether to visit family or go on that holiday destination. But just to talk us through this particular recall is the head of marketing and sales at Kia South Africa. That's Albrecht Grundel. Thank you so much for talking to you. I suppose it should be a busy time for you now after this recall. Just talk us through 18,600 vehicles impacted, what model specifically, and I know it is an ABS fuse issue. What exactly needs to take place there?
So the main issue is it's obviously vehicles that were sold between 2009 and 2015. So obviously quite an older vehicle. And the certain models that are affected are Optima, Cerato, Sportage, Sorento, and the Soul model. So the main issue that has to be fixed is a fuse, as you correctly said. It's an electronic component, and this fuse obviously has an effect on, it's a precautionary fix that will stop the ABS from potentially overheating, causing additional damage to surrounding components and that. So it's relatively quite a quick fix. I mean, I've been told that once the vehicle is brought into the dealership, within 18 to 20 minutes, we can replace the fuse and the vehicle will be working, at its optimal safety level. So the fix itself is relatively easy. I think the main issue that we're facing is obviously because of the age of the vehicle, some of them are 10 to, I think it's 17 years that the eldest one is, right? So the owners have changed, some of those vehicles are no longer in operation. So getting in contact with customers is obviously a lot harder. And I think it's great for platforms like this where we can obviously communicate the issue and inform customers about, that at Kia we obviously take safety critical items very seriously. And we really want our customers to take this notice, come into our dealerships, 75 dealerships across the country. They're fully equipped, they've been trained, we have parts available there. If you have any queries about it, contact our website, contact our customer care, it's all on our website. And we have a specific email, wecare@kia.co.za, and our trained, receptionist or trained customer care center will walk customers through the process.
Now, as you said, these cars are dated, and I suppose that's the element of difficulty of getting hold of the owner. And we were speaking off record. I'm one of the drivers who just puts up the music if I hear or see that warning lights. For those consumers or the drivers that you are getting hold of, what has been the take-up in terms of them actually then taking that action to bring in their vehicles for a booking?
Well, to your point, if it's newer vehicles, the take-up is obviously a lot faster. To date, we've obviously been repairing quite, as fast as we can. But, as I said, our database is only as accurate as it is. I mean, the average customer probably retains the vehicle from date of purchase anything from 3 to 4 years. So we're talking about 10, 15-year-old cars. So the owner could have changed 3 or 4 times. So our database is obviously compromised, making contact very difficult. But we use as many mechanisms or resources as possible. I mean, this interview is a good example for us to get the message out there to consumers. And it's really about a precautionary fix, right? So all OEMs or recalls are pretty standard process that we follow, and generally it's a precautionary measure, right, to ensure that our consumers are as safe as possible when driving our vehicles. It's not something that is like a guarantee. It's purely around a precautionary element to give our customers that peace of mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose peace of mind is essential right now with the number of cars that will be on the road. For vehicle owners that maybe aren't the original owner, they are the second, third owner, as you just said, 20, 30 minutes to bring it in. Can those people who maybe don't get the call from the dealer, but they own that particular model, can they bring it into then the dealer to say, I'd just like to be safe and check in?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that obviously shows how serious we are about it. It's not about if it's the third or fourth owner. It's not about whether the car is under warranty. We've obviously identified this as a safety critical item, and the importance is to get the vehicle in, irrespective of how old it is, irrespective of which owner it is. Make contact with any of our Kia dealerships across the country. We have 75 servicing dealers, so we should be able to cover customers from a national footprint. And if you have any difficulty, the easiest way is to email us at wecare@kia.co.za, and we'll talk you through the whole process on how we can repair it at our cost. It doesn't cost the consumer anything.
And now the other thing we heard from the National Consumer Commission mentioned that drivers who bring in their car could see compensation. Stellantis is saying that would be on a case-to-case basis. I would like to link it to if someone doesn't bring in their car and then they find other issues down the line, what happens, but what is Kia's position as well to the NCC statements around compensation?
Again, I think it'll be a very similar statement to what our other OEMs are. I mean, if it is related to the fix and it can be identified to that, that's obviously the reason we say on a case-by-case basis, we can obviously make the repairs at our cost, But obviously we have to do the investigation and see what the reason of the component failing was, if it's related to the issue. And absolutely, we will repair the vehicle.
Now, a lot of cross-province travel that's going to be happening over the next few weeks from those 18,600 vehicles being recalled. Does Kia have any insights for viewers on which provinces or perhaps where most of the recall is taking place?
So the biggest would be Gauteng, because that's where most of our vehicles are sold. But I think to also give customers some reassurances, we've had no reported incidents. As of today, I mean, as I said, 17 years old, 10 years old cars. To date, we haven't had one reported incident that's related to a failure or an accident relating to this issue. So, as I said, we urge customers to come in because it does give you that peace of mind. So, and any of our dealerships are are equipped, are trained, have parts, so we can obviously assist those customers immediately. So I think the peace of mind is it's a precautionary repair to this vehicle.
So I suppose being proactive as households. Just before I let you go, consumer confidence right now in the markets. A few tips while we have you for consumers maybe looking to purchase a new vehicle. What is it that they should be considering?
I think it's a buyer's market at the moment. I think, for me to go and obviously I'd love customers to come and look into our Kia dealerships and see what we have, but I think at the moment is definitely a buyer's market. There's a lot of options available for consumers to choose from, and we at Kia obviously look at ways to say, how do we obviously show our customers value? We strive ourselves on producing quality vehicles, looking after our customers, giving them the service and support after purchase. I think that's the important factor. Everyone gets excited about the new purchase of a vehicle, but then that quickly wanes when a brand cannot support its consumers from a national footprint. And I think Kia, having a long heritage in the country, being here for over 25 years, we're a very established brand in the country. I think all products out there are quality products right now. I think all OEMs are striving to make sure that we produce the best quality vehicle for our customers. And our warranty as well, we have an unlimited kilometer warranty, so you can travel as many kilometers as you want within the 5 years. We don't limit it to mileage, which I think is a key thing as well that we offer our consumers.
Well, Albert, thank you so much for your time and giving us those insights. And Michelle, certainly I suppose the message that we've been delivering since yesterday is for consumers or for drivers to really heed the call that is being made by OEMs when it comes to them bringing in their car, not only to ensure that they are safe on the roads, while no incidents have been reported yet for Kia specifically, but rather safe than sorry, Michelle, in the busy streets that will be across South Africa over this festive season.
Yeah, good advice there, particularly ahead of the holiday season. Ntokozo Khumalo, thanks very much for that conversation.